Friday. Here we are. Thank God it's Friday. Friday. What's up, everybody? What's going on? What's good? Welcome to Friday Vibes with Q. I am here. I am your host. What up, Flex? What's the deal, son? My man Gorilla Strong, of course. Salute to you, baby. Bananas in the building. Ah, yes. Gorilla, what's your son's name again? What's his name? I forgot. I know you said it in the chat, I think. Was it last week, maybe? Oh, thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. Truly appreciate that. Thank you for that. What Gorilla... Sean Liam, happy birthday, a big happy birthday shout out to Sean Liam. Yeah. Happiest of birthdays to you. Have an amazing birthday and an amazing weekend. Much love and salute. Yes. So, my man Gorilla is alluding to the fact that my group, my band, or one of my band projects, Mother Fuzz, we dropped a brand new song today called Once in a Lifetime. I'm probably going to say this throughout the show several times, but just in time for Valentine's Day, it's what I would guess you would consider it a rock ballad, something that hasn't been done in a while, or at least hasn't come across my radar in quite some time. And it's a fascinating song because when, of course, Gorilla, of course, when I wrote it, or when I was about to write it, the guitar player Crayon had asked me to write a song in that vein. And at first I was a little resistant because if you know me, I really don't do ballads, but I took it as a challenge and, did what I did. Yes, Bananas, thank you. Thank you, Bananas, I appreciate that. Thank you. What's up, Anthony? What's the deal, son? Welcome, Anthony O'Sullivan. Friday Vibes with Q. Today, we kind of just shoot the shit and, y'all throw me some questions. John Milburn in the house, ladies and gentlemen. My man Charisma, what's the deal? Party people, we having a party. Friday Vibes, yo. Yes. So this particular project that I'm working on, Mother Fuzz, we released a new song today called Once in a Lifetime, just in time for Valentine's just in time for Valentine's Day, and for all you loved ones out there. So if you want something that's romantic and rocking at the same time, check out the new Mother Fuzz song, Once in a Lifetime, now streaming on all platforms. Or, if you scroll down my YouTube page on the main page, you'll see a little circle for Mother Fuzz, and all of the links will be there as well. So thank you ahead of time for that, man. Oh, thank you. Pretty Princess, what's up? Welcome. Shout out to Joe from Ireland. Thank you for the love and support. Thank you so very much, Joe. Have a great day. Super duper fresh. Salute to you. Thank you, Gorilla. Yes, I caught this mug at there was like a little flea market happening back in the Lower East Side of New York. And this booth had like all of these different kind of like they had a Nas mug and it says, "I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death." And they had pins and KRS and Mobb Deep and Big Pun. Those were some of the items that I saw over there. It was really dope. I am. Like I said, Mother Fuzz, my group Mother Fuzz, we just released a new song today, so that's always a lot of fun when you have a release date. Plus, me and Rep Matic have been on the horn for 2-3 days straight. Getting ready. We're about to shoot a video. So for those that don't know what I'm talking about, myself and DJ Rhetmatic from the Beat Junkies, the world famous Beat Junkies, the Visionaries, and my Rocksteady crew brother, we got together and we got an album done. He did all the beats, he did all the cuts, I did all the rhymes. We got some dope features, and our first single, which is called Cypher Up, hits February 27th, which is 2 Fridays from today. And I'm just very excited about that project, man. You know, whenever I'm releasing music, there's like a mixed emotion of you're nervous, but you're also excited at the same time. It's kind of hard to put into words. It's almost like when you release music, it's almost like taking your kid to the first day of school. You know what I mean? You don't know how they're gonna react or how they're gonna deal with it or what the day is gonna have in store for them and all of that good stuff. And so it's kind of like the same vibe, something along to that. And so today with the Mother Fuzz track, the only reason why I was a little nervous was because I had mentioned earlier, I don't think in my whole catalog of music that I've ever done a love song before. And so when Crayon, the guitar player, had asked me to pen something in that vein, it was like, oh, okay. And I accepted the challenge and we had a blast, you know what I mean? Yeah, Gorilla, thank you for that, man. So I also posted a link yesterday because Rhett had leaked the song on Sway. You know, Sway, for those that don't know, in the hip hop community, Sway, from the Sway and King Tech days, he has his own show on Sirius XM every Friday. And he had Rhett come up and Rhett played the track, and it was just amazing to hear it on the radio. It sounded big, and I put the link out because I'll probably put the link up again one more time. Plus, there is a there's a pre-save link. Thank you for that. There's a pre-save link at qunique.com, q-unique.com. Or if you signed on to my mailing list at qunique.com, today you received a message with the pre-save link. So either way, and there's another place where I do a mail list. Band is in Town, that app. I'm on that app, and I also did an email blast on there as well. So whatever email list you signed, you would have received the message today about the pre-save link, plus about Live from the Lab, which is done every Wednesday, and today's show, Friday Vibes, which is done every Friday. So made a very quick announcement today in the email, on the email list tip. So that's the deal. Yeah, man. So that's as far as music is concerned, be prepared to see once Cypher Up comes out, the way we're setting it up mathematically is every 3 weeks there will be a brand new qunique Rhetmatic song. And then when we're finished with I believe it's 11 tracks, I think I got the math right on that. When we're finished, then it'll all come together as an album, but you'll get a chance to marinate on each song as it comes out every 3 weeks. So that is the deal with the with the Rhetmatic qunique album, which we're very excited about. So shout out to my brother Rhett. You know, we've been working painstakingly to get this album done, and we got my man Jerry on the mix. He's mixing everything down, and so we're having a blast with that. And like I said, next weekend, we're shooting the video for Cypher Up. So, man, I'm excited, man. So as you can tell, I got a lot of that jittery energy, releasing a song today, releasing a song in 2 weeks. So thanks, Gorilla. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. That would be crazy, bananas. You know, I met M in the early days. I doubt he would remember, but it was when I was working at Fat Beats. So the first person I met was Paul Rosenberg, who at the time was his lawyer, manager, and I think that remains the same now, although he's way more powerful than he was before. when I met Paul, he came to Fat Beats and he had those Eminem EPs that they put out on their own. And, you know, he brought it to the store for consignment. We picked it up, sold them out really fast. And the next time I met M, we were at an event and it was with Crazy Legs. I said, "What's up?" And then one more time, he did an in-store at Fat Beats and I rolled through. I just said, "What's up?" I kept it cordial because I could see that when I see somebody that's having that kind of a moment where it's like you're basically watching a meteor hit the earth, uh, I just kind of like don't invade the space. You know what I mean? Because I know that what they're dealing with is overwhelming. People think that success is like this big, like, I don't know, trip to Candyland. That's not how it works. And so, you know, I just always kept whatever I was saying just kind of cordial as much as I possibly could. And, you know, respect that homie has become one of the biggest, excuse me, one of the biggest MCs of all time, basically. So, you know, salute to him, man. That's crazy. What up, Machiavelli? What's the deal, son? I'm just reading y'all comments and catching up. So first, I don't know how Paul became his manager. If I had to guess, I'm assuming that M's reputation was just like, you know, like wildfire at that point, man. He was winning battles, he had his EP, and you know, I'm not sure of the details on the story, but I'm sure he probably saw the kid, saw the talent level, and was just like, you know, that's my quick summary, but I don't know what the fact is. John Milburn, um, surprisingly, like it's all in different levels and in different, I guess, time frames. So I would love, like, if I had a, let's say OG wise, right? I would love to work with Kumo D. I would love to work with Melly Mel. I would love to work with KRS, Rakim, Kane. Um, and then obviously Nas or Jay. Um, I would love to work with Ice Cube. I would love, then if you fast forward a little bit, or my own personal colleagues, like I would love to do. I respect a lot of the dudes that come from my section of hip hop. So like obviously some of them I've already worked with, like Vinny or Bill or Gore or Sabak, Esoteric, Self-Titled, Apathy, Copyright. Um, you know, it's kind of hard for me to remember everyone, but like as you can see, like the roadmap to that, it just goes through different areas of this thing. You know, Kendrick would be dope, J. Cole would be dope. Uh, there's just so many. Prof, I think he's cool. There's so many cool different artists on the planet that it's kind of hard to put into a neat folder for you. But there's definitely, and I'm sure I'm missing a lot, but you know, that's what it is. What up, Raymond? What's the deal, son? What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome. Unsubscribe. What's the deal? I actually worked with Killer Priest, so it's dope that you brought that up. And somebody brought up Raekwon. So I've worked with Raekwon, I've worked with Killer Priest, and I've worked with Capadonna. So the first story, I've told this before. I have an OG skater friend from New York. His name is Vinny Ponte, like a New York skater legend. And at the time, he was hanging out with different Wu-Tang members, you know, or he was, you know, he's the man, like he's like a connected dude. And he used to roll up to their penthouse and just chill. And so the first time I got to meet any of the Wu-Tang dudes was Vinny had invited me up to the penthouse, the Wu-Tang penthouse. And when I got there, it was wild because the first thing, like you walk in and deep, there's like a corner area with a TV and couches and chairs. And dudes was really there, like watching kung fu movies. Like it was like spot on, like how you would imagined it. And I think it was Master Killer, I think, and a few other heads. I met Power. Power was always cool. And that day I got to smoke a blunt. It was me, Vinny, and Method Man. And it was just surreal as shit. And then yes, John Milburn, I definitely would. Yes, I definitely would. Charisma, I don't know what's going on with the recording schedule for La Coca, but I would love to be on. You know, I've been on most of their releases, so I would love to be a part of that. So let's see how it all falls on the schedule. So getting to the Raekwon story, one day Vinny calls me. I was in Brooklyn and Vinny lived in like downtown Manhattan. And he was like, yo, Raekwon's at my apartment right now. He's looking for beats. You should roll through. So I quickly grabbed all of my beat CDs, got in my whip, did about $1 from Brooklyn to get to downtown because I didn't want to miss this opportunity. And when I walked in, there he was, the chef, Raekwon. And, you know, had a little small talk. You know, Vinny told me, you got beats, whatever, let's go. Throw on the beats. He picked he picked a beat that I would have never thought he would have picked. And let me look on my phone so I could tell you exactly every time I do this, I never know exactly where I put certain songs when it comes to this kind of a song, because this is more like a collection song. You know what I mean? So give me a second here. I'm getting this information for you right now. Okay, so on the let me make sure for a second. I'm looking down. Pardon me for a second. It's on the, okay, here we go. So I have an album called The Legacy Series Volume 2, and there's a song on there called Cup of Tea, and that's the song with Raekwon and me. And the way it all came, what up, Tom? The Machiavelli, what's going on? I almost called you Thomas, son. What's going on, son? What's good? So so what was interesting was when Ray picked the beat, I thought we were done. And then Vinny was like, yo, let's just record this right now. You engineer it. And I was like, holy shit. Now, not only is he picking my beat, but now I'm about to record Raekwon on my beat. So the whole experience was just super surreal. And, you know, I'm like at the board and I'm turning around and I'm watching him do his vocals. And in my head, I'm like, this is wild, son. Like I would have never predicted this. And so when he finished, we chilled a little bit because at the time I wasn't even thinking about like, oh, I'm gonna get on this. I try to keep it as professional as possible. I'm not trying to be an opportunist in that sense. And so we chilled a little bit, chopped it up, and then Ray left, and then I chopped it up with Vinny a little bit, then I left. And then maybe a couple of weeks later, Vinny gives me a call. He's like, yeah, I was just chilling with Raekwon, man. And he's blessing you. You could have the verse, the beat, you could put a verse on it and all of that. So I was like, shh, this is wild, son. And so I got it done. And it's on the Legacy Series Volume 2. It's called Cup of Tea, if you want to check it out. Yeah, exactly. And so after that, a few years after that, I was working with the drummer from the band Taking Back Sunday on some hip hop shit. It wasn't even on some rock rap or anything. It was straight hip hop. He had a homie that he used to make beats with his name is Daniel Wallace, and you know, they contacted me. We were gonna work on a project, and one of the songs that we happened to do was a song that they had contacted Capadonna for, and he already got them the verse, and they were like, "Yo, you spit the second verse, and we'll get the lead singer from Take It Back Sunday. I think his name is Adam, and the name of the drummer from Take It Back Sunday was Mark O'Connell, and there I was, another song with another Wu-Tang member, me and Capadonna on the song with the lead singer from Take It Back Sunday on the hook. The name of that song is Verrazano Villains. So if you go and look on any streaming service, because that's not on any qunique album, but it's a single called Verrazano Villains, and so you can hear that. That came out cool as well. So those are the two times that I worked with members of the Wu-Tang Clan. What up, Detroit Thrower, son? So that's the deal. And obviously, when you do something like that, your brain automatically starts to think about all of the greats that you would love to work with. So a lot of the names y'all are saying are just perfect. Yeah, LL Cool J, that would be amazing. And I have a quick story about LL. I went with Crazy Legs and Tony Touch. We went to the Source Awards. I don't remember what year this was. And we went there to accept an award for the Rocksteady crew. And for whatever reason, after the ceremony, we went to go and eat somewhere, and LL Cool J rolled with us. But he knew, him and Crazy Legs know each other. And so he just rolled with us to like this diner, and we sat. And what was wild for me was that LL sat right next to me, and we chopped it up the whole time. And we talked about like real shit, like real life shit, you know, him growing up in Queens, you know, talking about, well, what was more fascinating, not so much the little details of just life and stuff was, and it, not that I'm guiding anybody anywhere, but what tripped me out was that he started talking about faith and church and how he goes to church. And it just like, again, like it was such a surreal moment because that was the last thing I would have expected him to talk about. He even invited me to the church, all of that stuff. And it was another surreal kind of conversation because you never know where the conversation is going to go with somebody like that. And it was just like very surreal. So that was my experience, my little experience with LL Cool J, man. So shout out to LL Cool J. Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, you know, I think my career made my memory like that because what people don't understand sometimes, or they tend to forget, is that I have to memorize thousands of words, thousands. And so when you've, I guess, disciplined your brain to remember sentences or paragraphs or verses, and then all of a sudden you're doing an hour-long set somewhere and you have to remember all of these rhymes and cadences and you know, it's like I've designed my brain to absorb things and kind of keep them in certain boxes, like a file cabinet almost. And so it's been very helpful for me and for my career and for storytelling, which is something that I also enjoy doing. And so now I find myself that whenever these things happen, my mind automatically wants to remember details and things as the things are unfolding so that I could either A, tell the story, or B, just cherish the moment. And so, and it goes far back. It goes far back, this whole thing, man. Exactly. Me and Shaquille O'Neal. I would do it. Of course I would, man. That'd be crazy. Exactly, Charisma. It is. It's a practice. It's a discipline, and the more you practice these things, the more you could deliver certain things in a certain way. And what I mean by that is that whenever I tell my story sometimes, or let's say I'm telling the story publicly amongst friends, excuse me, I moved the camera a little bit. I don't want stutters to get mad. But, but whenever I tell these stories, I memorize them so well that I'm able to act them out, change my voice up, change my cadence, embellish on it, make people laugh and smile and just do like this exaggerated, almost comedic sketch of a real story that had happened. And it's helped me in a sense whenever I've done acting gigs, because I've done some acting gigs in New York through the years back in New York. That definitely helps out a lot when you have to memorize a script, lines, and all of that. And not only just memorize them, but you get so familiar with these words that you could act upon them and add flavor to them. It's the same thing like some of my rhymes I know so well that when I'm on stage, I could flip them any sort of way I want because I memorized them for years, decades at this point. So that's what happens, man. Yeah. It's, somebody else brought that up to me. I forgot. Oh, I was talking to Self-Titled 2 days ago because I was on Apathy's live feed and Self-Titled was there and I was hyped to see him. And I remembered specifically when I first met him. And when I told him the story, he was like, damn, homie, I was like 20 years ago. And it's like, and it was a fast, like, it wasn't like I met Self and we hung out for a week. It was like I met Self because me and DJ Eclipse went up to this record distribution company and Self happened to be there because he had his own label. And I just was like, yo, what's up? Respect, And that was it. But these things stay in my memory. I can't explain it, I guess. Like I try to explain, I think it's from the discipline of having to remember things, but there's a good chance I was just born with that kind of thing. Some people, I know people that could work out big mathematical equations in their head with no calculator and fast. I don't have that. Everybody has that one little thing that they could specialize in. Mine is kind of memory. So. Edwin, what's the deal, son? Yeah, Tanya, that's the thing about remembering things. You got to be careful what you want to bring up in the memory. Yeah, man, Self is dope. You know what? When I finished the live feed with Self and Apathy, I gave them their flowers on the spot. That's the place that I'm in now mentally, is like whenever I come across an artist that I respect, I do my best to give them their flowers on their spot. For so many years we've been taught in hip hop, protect the ego, don't give props or you look like a fan or a stan. And it's like, that's absurd. I think, and like, for instance, what I said to Apathy and Self is that whenever I come across one of their verses, whether it's an old verse or a new verse, I'm full of joy because these guys do it at such a high level that it makes me happy. Because there are serious practitioners out there, whether it's rap or rock. And I respect those people because they're true to the art form. And so, that's what I said to them. And the rest is history with that, man. No, it doesn't. Yeah, I appreciate their skill level. I appreciate what they do. And it's not just them. There's definitely a mass amount of artists that I appreciate. And the spectrum is huge, man. It goes from jazz, rock, metal, hip hop, I mean, you name it, man. Like I could almost go through any genre, almost, and pick people that I admire because of the skill level and the talent. And I know that it takes so much discipline to acquire that. And so I'm always prepared to give people their flowers, no matter what, man. Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that, and and thank all of y'all, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, that's dope, Edwin. Hold on to that shirt. I would put that shirt in a frame, homie. Careful with that. Careful with that, man. Yeah, man. Eminem did create that, man. That's his. He gets that. He gets props for that. Certain MCs have that where they created a slang term or a slang way. You know what I mean? So it's like salute and props. That's dope. But yeah, man, I'm this is dope, man. This is dope. I gotta say so. I gotta give all of y'all flowers. Everybody in this chat room, I gotta give flowers, and I'll tell you why. I appreciate the commentary. Sometimes most of the time 99.9% of the time when I do these shows, when I'm finished, I'm both drained and happy at the same time because it's not that I pulled anything off or I hit some sort of home run or anything. It's the engagement with y'all. It's reading the comments. It's reading the statements. It's getting the questions. It's the whole vibe that we're all setting. It's not just me. We're all of us together. We're making this vibe. And so I walk away from it very, very happy and I appreciate y'all. So thank y'all very much, man. Seriously, thank y'all. Thank you, Edwin. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Gorilla. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bananas. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, man. So, a lot of little stories, man. Those Wu Tang stories are always surreal, man, because certain things fall into play and you try to make sense of them, but it's best to just enjoy the moment, enjoy the time because another thing that I've learned is that they don't last forever. And sure, it's a harsh reality, but it also should signal you to enjoy it. And there are certain instances where I wish that what I just said had rung in my brain. Like, for instance, the one time that I was in the same room as Chris Cornell, I didn't say anything. All I did was because, so here's the thing. I was on the road with Korn and they were doing a few shows with Chris Cornell in Europe. And we didn't really see him until one day we were backstage, and the backstage was outdoors. It was an outdoors event in Europe. And I'm walking by, and Monkey from Korn, the guitar player from Korn, was out in front of he had like a dressing cabin, and he was standing out front with Chris Cornell, and my head almost exploded. I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. It was just extremely surreal because for those that don't know, Chris Cornell is a big influence and inspiration of mine when it comes to what I do in rock. And so to see him there, it was like the first time I saw KRS or Rakim. You just don't believe what you're seeing. And so I was so humbled by his presence that I didn't even say a word. I just walked up, I waved, hey, what's up? Like that, and kept it moving. I'm respecting his space. I know who he is. He's Chris Cornell, man. Now, in hindsight, I wish I would have just at least went up, shook hands, and said thank you, and you know, whatever would have came to my mind to give him flowers. That would have been amazing, but I didn't. I kept it more on a quiet tip, you know, and so. Oh, that's what's up, Edwin. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm gonna answer that, Charisma, in a second. Thank you, Edwin. Chris Rivers, bananas. I like Chris Rivers. I don't know if he raps anymore. I know he does a lot of podcasting and he does a lot of content. I like him. I like his vibe. You know what I mean? I know he can rhyme, you know, but his vibe, I really dig the way he does his posts, if you get my drift. He has a very like cool, sarcastic, but funny, fun approach. He's dope to watch, man. Charisma, so Toronto is one of those places that I love to go. You know, I've been told that Toronto is like baby New York. I was always told that growing up in New York. Either way, I've always loved going to Toronto. I've had incredible experiences from doing shows with the Arsonists, doing solo shows like you mentioned. My band Stillwell, I opened up, my band Stillwell opened up for Korn, Disturbed, In This Moment, and Seven Dust in Toronto at the arena where the Raptors play. I love Toronto, man. I love the vibe. I love everything about Toronto. So Toronto will always have my love. So thank you for that. Thank you for that memory. I don't remember specific. It's funny because the only thing that one of the shows that I remember in Toronto is that the venue was dope, but the stage to the ceiling was really low. The ceiling was really low. So if you jumped, you would hit your head on the ceiling. I don't remember the name of that venue, but I believe I did that. I think it was us and might have been the Swollen Members, I think. And so I remember that. And another time we did it, we went out there with the Executioners, I believe, too. But that show with the low ceiling, I just remember being crazy is like that. Oh, Charisma, I was the Arsonist. Yes. Exactly, Tanya. You understand where I'm coming from. Peace, Machiavelli. Peace. Have a great weekend. Much love to you. Enjoy your Valentine's Day with your loved ones. That's what's up, Edwin. No, actually, you'll see it down for Kingsbound. So here are the band projects that I've done. It's kind of an elaborate map of work. So Stillwell was my first, actually, bullshit. The first time that I ever did anything with a band was my first try at it was with the Lords of Brooklyn. My homie Caves, we were doing the Vans Warped Tour, and he invited me on stage to do a song with the Lords of Brooklyn. So that was the first time I ever got on stage with a live band and rocked. Shortly after that, that's when Crazy Legs suggested that I get into rock. So when Crazy Legs suggested that, I put a band together with a band from Long Island called Unsound, and then I ended up taking that band on the Vans Warped Tour. So now that was the official first time that I had my own band and I was performing, and we did like 1 or 2 weeks of performing at the Warped Tour. And again, I had an amazing experience. From there, what up, Scratch a Lot? Thank you. You're welcome, baby. Welcome to the show. It's all good. So after the whole Vans Warped Tour experience, that's when I get the phone call. I meet Fieldy from Korn. I fly out to Cali. He and I work on our first song together, which becomes Killing Myself to Live. And then Fieldy invites me to go on tour with Korn. I end up hanging out with those guys for damn near 20 years. We end up writing 4 Stillwell albums. Now, during that time, when I get back home, I'm in this mind frame where I want to develop as a vocalist. So one of the things I do, as per the suggestion of Ray Luzier, who's the drummer from Korn, and the homie Catfish, who is another drummer that I know, amazing drummer, who used to tech for Ray, was to go get a vocal coach. I ended up getting a vocal coach, training at the opera school in Manhattan. And then during that time, I put together a band with Mike DeJean from Crown of Thorns, and it's called King's Bounty. We released 2 songs, Denial, Who Made You King. Love those songs, love that chapter of my career. We again end up going on the road. Korn invites King's Bounty. We open up for them a couple of times. We open up for Jonathan Davis. We open up for Seven Dust, POD, Napalm Death. I can't remember this other band, but we do a lot of shows. We drop videos and stuff like that. And then I do another project called Rodimus, which is very metal. It's like traditional metal. And then King's Bounty, we changed the name to Soul Gun. And then finally, I get to Mother Fuzz, which is what I'm working right now. And throughout all of those rock things, my hair was always down. So there you go, Edwin. That one's for you, baby. Thank you, Semantic. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for the props. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate that. Yeah, exactly, Edwin. It's wild. Oh, that's what's up, Gorilla. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, Tanya's seen it. Tanya, so people, the user with the T, Tanya, she's actually seen, I think she's seen Stillwell shows. I know she's seen King's Bounty. Tanya has witnessed my journey in rock, and I'm sure she's fascinated by it, to say the least. But she's one of the few people that has been on the journey with me. So definitely give a lot of love and props to Tanya, man. She's been supporting myself and all of the homies that I've been in bands with for a very long time. So thank you, Tanya. Edwin, what's the deal, son? You dropping bombs. So, yo, Edwin, I just handed in my verse to Flacco, and what was dope was that I've always respected Flacco. For those that don't know, Flacco is he's an MC from Spain, and I did a song with him a while ago called Manos Sucios, and that one is kind of like, it's cool. Like, I think Flacco killed it. I think I was kind of like a little immature, not fully grasping what it was that I was doing. And it's very Spanglish and it's very all over the place. So I was very happy that Flacco reached out to me to do something new. And this time I was able to approach it differently with, more thoughtful. And he gave me the subject matter, and it was, it was about my journey in hip hop. And I was able to say something in Spanish about my journey in hip hop. It was a lot of fun, and my verse has already been handed in, and my man Flacco and his homie, they're mixing it down. So shout out to Flacco. Thank you, Edwin. That was dope. Yeah, Edwin, he is amazing. Flacco is a G. He's very good at what he does. Got a lot of love for him. He's dope, man. So yeah, definitely. Thank you for bringing that up, Edwin. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, it's great that you brought that up, because then it just reminds me, it's like, there's so many things that I'm working on musically that so many things come across the desk. And another thing that's happening, and I'll show y'all right now. So your boy Q starting to get the bookings going. I just caught this is supposed to be happening. That's happening in Colorado. Tentatively, looks like May 23rd in Colorado at Bar Red. I will be performing. DJ Stutters will be on the cut. And, we're going to be having some fun in Colorado. So if you're in the area, if you're in Denver, Colorado, come on down to Bar Red. It's going to be dope. May 23rd, of course, I'll be putting up links and promoting it when we're closer to the show. But homies reached out, and I'm very excited about getting on stage, man. We're going to have a lot of fun at this one. So get ready, son. Get ready. Crazy Legs is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. And I know Crazy Legs, I'll announce it now, but I know he's wrapping up his book. And I'm very excited for him. Crazy Legs is, aside from him being my first mentor, my big brother, one of my all-time best friends, you got to understand that it's surreal to also have a big brother like that, because when you say one of one about somebody, he's that dude. He is one of one. One incredible statistic about Crazy Legs and this book is that there is no B-boy on the planet that is about to do what he's about, that has done what he's about to do. He's going to be the first B-boy on the planet with a book in a major publishing company, and I can't be more happier for him. This is a dude that has shaped a lot of young B-boys and B-girls. Just beyond that, a lot of hip-hop heads in New York City, we all idolized this brother. We all looked up to him. We all, whenever we would see him in the streets, just stared in awe. Again, like I described meeting Chris Cornell or Rakim or KRS or even LL. Crazy, even though Crazy Legs is somebody that became one of my best friends, you got to understand it's still a very surreal thing, like all those people that I mentioned, because of their accolades and what they hold in the history of just this culture, So salute and shout out to Crazy Legs. Sure, man. Yes. Oh my God, yeah. Funk Flex Bomb, there you go. Oh my God, yo, that's great. Rocksteady is in the... Yo, Legs, I made an announcement the other day because, Rhett and Rhett played... So me and Rhett, I'll repeat it again, me and Rhett Maddock were finishing up our album, and it's dope that he and I are Rocksteady brothers because I was able to put that in the announcement because Rhett played the first single on Sway's show a couple of Fridays ago, and we had the mix-up, and so I was like, my Rocksteady brother, and... we got this album coming out called The QR Code, and the first single is called Cypher Up. So we're very excited, and of course, the Rocksteady family name gets stamped on yet another beautiful product, which is this qunique Rhythmatic album. So get ready for that, y'all. Stay tuned for that, for sure, man. And once again, don't forget, there's a new Mother Fuzz song streaming, just came out today. It's called Once in a Lifetime. It's actually perfect for Valentine's Day. So your boy qunique officially has a song for Halloween with the Arsonist called Halloween. And now I have a Valentine song with Mother Fuzz called Once in a Lifetime. It's a beautiful rock ballad written for all of you that have that special someone in your life that you want to express some beautiful words. there you go. There it is for you. Just take that song and just light up some candles, get yourself a little bouquet of some flowers and shit. Maybe get a little chocolates or some spaghetti and do the whole, like the slurp the one spaghetti strand and meet in the middle and kiss and all of that shit. And listening to the new Mother Fuzz once in a lifetime and have it ringing in the back and having this beautiful locking eyes with your loved one moment. Oh my God. Shout out to Stutters for working on helping to work with the Crazy Legs book. He's not the only person that worked on it, but shout out to Stutters, shout out to Joe Sell, shout out to a few heads that helped Crazy Legs. Hopefully we'll have Legs back on the show. Maybe we'll do a remote. If he's not in LA, we'll do a remote so that we could talk about this beautiful book. I'm very excited for him. So once the book drops, we'll have him back on. So that's the deal with that. Yeah, man, Charisma. We all watched Legs on Beach Street and Wild Style and Style Wars and what's the other one? Fucking Flashdance. But you know what? Legs blew my mind. It is wild because, look, I've known Legs. Legs has known me for a long, long time since I was a child. And through this whole time, so Legs has this picture of him and Kadeem, what's his name? Kadeem Woodson, that's his name, the actor from A Different World, and Michael Jackson, and maybe one or two other people. He has it on a photo. And they're all wearing like suits and ties. And for some reason, I never thought to ask him, why did y'all take this picture? How did this happen? I just always tripped out because it was Crazy Legs with Michael Jackson and Kadeem from A Different World. And I was yesterday days old. Hardison, there he goes. I'm confusing him with Bakeem Woodbine. I'm confusing all their names. Anyway, so yesterday days old, I found out, ladies and gentlemen, when we're done with this show, type in Michael Jackson Bad official video, the one that starts with a short film, not the one that jumps into the music video, the one that starts with the short movie. And guess who's in the video? Crazy Legs, son. Like, I was like, what? How did I not know this? How did I not know that you're an actor in the Michael Jackson Bad video? Like, it's crazy. You'll spot him. There's a scene on a bus and somewhere else in the beginning. You got to watch the beginning, the little film. And I also found out that Martin Scorsese directed that video, which again, I did not know. So it's like, it's bizarre, these things that you don't know. So yeah, you got to check it out, man. It blew my mind. Blew my mind. Aside from the fact that Crazy Legs is also in the movie Home Alone 2. A lot of people don't know that either. That I knew. There's a scene in Central Park and people are walking and you see Legs kind of just walking like he's off going to work or something. So it's pretty cool, man. Like, it's like to see like those little tidbits of, you don't think that homie Legs is gonna be in this or that, and there he is. So it's pretty fun. It's a lot of fun to see that, man. So shout out, man. Oh my God, that's great, man. So dope, man. So dope. Oh man. Yeah, man, the Bad video, man, that shit blew my mind. Legs, if you go to his Instagram, he posted some stills of the Bad video where you see him and Michael Jackson. So you could also see it. Is it Mr. Legs? You got to put your handle on there. I think it's Mr. Legs or Crazy Legs RSC, one of those. And he has some stills that he posted today. I think because of my shock, he posted it, which is very cool. So you go and check it out, man. It's pretty cool, man. Shout out to Crazy Legs, man. Kung Fu. Oh, man. Yeah, man. So dope. So dope, man. You know, I'm thinking about legs, another surreal moment. And I ended up becoming friends with the homie that I believe did it. Qunique was done by Carlos, I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I know he did Dada. I thought he did Qunique too, but I remember one time me and Legs and maybe two other Rocksteady members, we got to do the catwalk. We were doing some modeling shit. We were like wearing Qunique or Dada like jumpsuits and sneakers and all that. We walking up and down the red carpet, and that was another weird, like, way off the beaten path. Gorilla strong, son! Oh wait, you get one of these, Gorilla. I gotta give you one of these, son.
I like it.
That's so dope. That whole clip is dope. You're in Kung Fu? Are you serious? See, Legs got that he got that resume, son. Here I am going to acting class. This dude already got a resume going, son. Yo, Legs. Yo, Legs, you got to help me with this one. Just like, you know, help me along with this one. Here's the craziest one. No, here's one of the craziest experiences that I've had with Crazy Legs. For me, we were doing so the Rocksteady crew and the rhythm technicians, Magnificent Force, all of these B-boys and boogie boys and B-girls and all of that, they had this theater production, and we were performing it at the Performance Space 122, which is in downtown Manhattan. And that's a place where actors come and they put on theater pieces, or they're working out a theater piece, and there's a small audience. It's very intimate. People come and check you out. And one day we had just finished the play for the day. And I don't remember who it was, but somebody comes backstage and they're like, yo, y'all gotta come out. Somebody very important is here to meet everybody. And so we don't know. So one by one, we were walking out into the theater area, and standing right in front of us, I can't even, like, I'm trying to set up, I can't even set it up. Is somebody who's considered one of the greatest actors of all time, Paul Newman. Paul Newman came to see our play. And I gotta tell you, I mentioned how I met anyone from Eminem to Wu-Tang, LL Cool J, Rakim, KRS. Nothing can prepare you for meeting somebody like that. We're talking easily someone that is considered one of the greatest actors of all time. He's in some of the most iconic films Hollywood has ever produced. And there he was, hanging out with us, a bunch of hip-hop kids from New York, telling us how great we were. He was there with his wife, and it was just like Legs, right? Like, it was like the most craziest thing that we ever experienced, because that's not somebody that you even expect to cross paths with in a situation like this. And I gotta say, man, he was just a beautiful human being. He was really, really cool with us, man. And he greeted everybody, humble, talked to everybody. Really cool, man. I was in awe. I didn't really say, again, just like meeting Chris Cornell, I didn't say much to him. I did speak when spoken to, but Paul Newman, man. So, well, my God, man, that whole situation was just nuts. Nuts! I love that y'all bringing up the dressings and the sauce and the cookies. And but remember, man, you're talking about Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Cool Hand Luke, the Gambler, the Sting. What's the name of that the Verdict? My God, it's like his filmography is just insane, and his acting chops were just something that you aspire to be. So it's like Paul Newman. What up, Ben? What's the deal, son? Cars, yeah, exactly. He was in Cars too. And he used to race cars. He used to drive, I don't know if it was NASCAR or Formula One, but he was that dude. He would drive cars, race cars. That's a wild soul right there. Yes, Gorilla, that's another thing was, no, I know it's the Disney movie Cars. I remember he played the old car, whatever, old timer, I think, or something like that. But he definitely gave back. He was blessed, man. He was blessed, and it was definitely an experience to meet somebody like that. So, thank you, Crazy Legs. You add that to my experiences as well. Oh my God, yo! What a crazy. These things, I always talk about these things. When I bring these stories up, it's not about like, look at me. It's not. It might come across that way, but it's not. And I always try to preface this by saying, I share these experiences because I'm trying to show you the possibilities, even whatever level, and that whatever passion that you might have and whatever heroes that you have in that passion, you just put the work in and you just never know who you're gonna end up crossing paths with. So I don't know everybody's passion, but whatever passion it is, there's always superheroes in that passion, whether you're a carpenter or a poet or an actor or a writer or an author or a lawyer. There's always those superstars in those passions that you aspire to be like. So when you finally meet them, it's such a surreal experience. And what I'm here trying to tell you is that I followed my passion. And these are some of the experiences that I get to share with y'all to hopefully encourage you to follow yours and to say that, hey man, you just don't know until you just take that step who you might be hanging out with, who you might be chopping it up with, who you might make friends with, who might become somebody in your life. You just don't know. So that's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of me sharing these things, is to give you that. I want to give you that and for you to go and chase it, because the truth is, and I always say this too, nothing is guaranteed. Not tomorrow, not next 10 minutes, nothing. And so with that in mind, take that step, man. Enjoy the journey and let it unfold into something beautiful. Be disciplined to your passion. Be disciplined to your craft. Practice as much as you can. Go out there and practice it as much as you can, or put it into play as much as you can. And you just don't know what you're gonna experience. Trust me, man. Trust me on this. For real. For real. Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know what that means. Did we meet him? I don't think we did. I don't remember meeting him. Tom. Yeah, and I feel you, because I try to fight back the tears too, because it's no secret. We can all look at the world right now and everything is divided. There's a lot of hostility. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of disappointment. There's a lot of shit going on that just doesn't feel right, regardless of whatever angle. I'm not trying to push an agenda, but from whatever perspective we're looking from, it doesn't feel right, right? And I don't know what the answer is. I don't think I'm qualified to give you an answer because I haven't completely done my homework on the problems of the world. I would have to dive in, but that's not my gig. So what I'd rather do is saying, despite what we're looking at, and despite your own personal challenges at home or in your head or in your heart or physically or mentally or whatever it is spiritually, what I'm telling you is despite all of that, keep that passion close to your heart, protect it, be disciplined, be loving towards it, nurturing towards it, and do it. Just take the steps. Learn your craft inside and out. Trust me on this, man. You just don't know what it's going to evolve into. And you know what? Some days you ain't going to want to do it. Some days your heart's going to be broken by the very passion. It happens. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is going to give you a sunshine and a dove and fucking flowers and rose petals falling from the heavens every day, because it's not. It's not. But I think that anything worth the struggle is worth the work. Not every time I do this shit not every time I do this am I in a place of happiness or am I in a place of certainty. Sometimes I'm unsure. Sometimes I'm scared. Sometimes I'm bummed out. But I still get up and do it because other times I'm happy. Other times I'm elated. I'm satisfied. I'm beyond happy. And I'm happy to share it. And then you guys make me even more happy because you come back around and you're like, that was dope. You're dope. Thank you, Q. And it all makes everything, it makes the fucking hard times and the good times come together, and it makes it all smooth. But that's my passion. When I'm doing music, entertainment, whether it's visually, musically, whatever, that's my passion. So now I turn to you and say, what's your passion and what are you doing about it? That's it. That's it. Now I'm not really talking about that. I'm not saying anything in that subject because, like I said, I'm not really qualified to speak on that. If I had information, if I was on, like, let's say I was like an Immortal Technique or somebody like that, somebody that actually, watches what's going on, they come up with their own perspective or whatever, then I'd be on here and build on it. But I'm not that guy. I'm just being real with you. If I was to say something, I'd probably fuck it up because I'm not analyzing it that way. You know what I mean? So respect, and I feel you. I understand where you're coming from. So I'm not discounting anything you're saying. What I'm saying is, me personally, I'm not the guy to build with about that. There's other people in my business that actually tackle these subjects, that either they're more qualified or you might not even find them qualified. I don't know, but I would look at them as way more qualified than I am. So that's the deal with that. So just letting y'all know. For me, when you come here, I'm more about encouraging y'all to pursue your passions. I'm here to share stories and experiences. I'm here to talk about some of the things I've seen in my journey and share it with y'all. And, just to give a good vibe. That's it. Keep it peace here. That's all. Other people tackle different subjects. This is what I do. So that's the deal. Salute to you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Bill Shapiro with the Tex-Mex, son. That was a late air horn on that one. Thank you, Tanya. I appreciate that. Tex-Mex. Yeah, man. So once again, Let me make the, I always, you know me, man, I gotta cycle back around. So number one, brand new Mother Fuzz song came out. For those that don't know what Mother Fuzz is, if you like what I do in rock music, Mother Fuzz is my latest project. It's more of a heavier rock from what I was doing with Stillwell. Brand new song we released today called Once in a Lifetime. It's a song that's perfect for Valentine's Day. It's a rock ballad. If you're into that kind of stuff, go and check it out. Mother Fuzz, 2 words, MOTHER space FUZZ, Mother Fuzz, and we got about 8 songs out right now, so you can check everything out. And as I mentioned several times, the new qunique Rhythmatic album, the first single drops February 27th. That's 2 Fridays from today. The name of that song is Cypher Up. If you want to pre-save, go to qunique.com, q-unique.com, and on the homepage, you click on the image and you can pre-save the link, so as soon as it comes out, you have it in your play. In your play, yes. So that's the deal with that. Obviously, there's other things on qunique.com, q-unique.com, merch, videos, the past episodes of the podcasts, all types of cool things that you could check out when you go to q-unique.com. Thanks for visiting there. And of course, if this is your first time here, just know that I do 2 live streams a week. On Wednesdays, it's live from the lab. That's more geared towards storytelling. I have a book report. I talk about a certain experience in the music business, and we chop it up together. And that's Wednesdays, 6 p.m. on the 6 p.m. on the West Coast, 9 p.m. on the East Coast on Wednesdays. And on Fridays, we do Friday Vibes with You. It is a more like open forum where I read questions and comments and we all talk. And this happens every Friday, 7 p.m. on the West, 10 p.m. on the East. And we have a lot of fun. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what's going down. Yes. Definitely, if this is your first time here, please like and subscribe. Thank you for your support through the super chats, the super stickers. If you're on the phone, vertical style, thanks for the super gifts. And if you want to take it further, hit up qunique.com, q-unique.com. There's a lot of merch on there showing your support that way as well as streaming the music or just showing love and support with the music. So I thank you ahead of time. And I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna let y'all get into y'all Fridays and enjoying your weekend. Light went up, your brother qunique. I'm definitely gonna be puffing and all of that good stuff. I wanna thank y'all for hanging out with me today. This was a lot of fun, just talking to y'all. And remember, man, just remember what I said, man. You got that passion, take that first step. I know fear is gonna creep into your head. I know doubt is, look, we all get it. No one escapes that. You gotta get past that. You gotta get past that, even if it's a little step, little baby step here, little baby step there, little 15 minutes, 30 minutes time into your passion, all of that. Just take that step. Trust me, man. But I'll see y'all next Wednesday. We're gonna have a special guest next Wednesday, so stay tuned for that live from the lab next Wednesday. Much love to y'all. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. Have a beautiful weekend. Spread love. Peace.